Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week number 2 of EDU 600, Research Methods. I want to congratulate everybody on making it this far. The first week can be confusing, and it's hard to get back into the rhythm of things, so I want to congratulate everybody on doing just that. What I'll try to do in the next few minutes is just give you a brief overview of week number 1, highlight a couple of things that came up during the week, and then we'll take a look at week number 2. I know this is a holiday weekend, people are busy, and I tried to dial back a little bit of the work for this week to make it a little bit easier for people to actually take some time off, possibly on Labor Day, and even for those, there's a couple that still need to do the posting for week number 1 to get caught up on that. So congratulations on a successful week so far. As you can see, we're looking at Module 1, and there's a couple of things I just did want to talk about. In the introductions, I had some questions about this word do. The same thing, reading the research abstracts do. So really, I put due in there not as a due date for an assignment. As I mentioned to a couple of people that sent me an email, the due, I say due, post your response during the week by Wednesday. So really that is a suggestion. And the reason that I ask people to do the initial post is if you get your initial post done by the end of the day, Wednesday, that gives other people in the class, your classmates, time to actually read yours and then make a comment or two on it. So that is the only purpose. These are not, unless it's an assignment, the due, right here, due, post your initial response by Wednesday. That is really a suggestion. That is not a hard due date. If you want to do it on Monday, that's great. Tuesday, Wednesday, I realize that we have a busy class. People are busy, people work, and it might not be possible to get your initial post done by Wednesday. If you can't, don't worry. You could get it done on Thursday, or, it's better in the first part of the week. So that's the only thing I wanted to discuss. I will say one thing about our class. We have a wide variety of students in our class, which I think is going to make for really some interesting discussions as we move forward. We do have some weeks where I split the class into either 3 or 4 groups, and you'll have an opportunity to discuss certain research with your fellow classmates. So we have a really interesting, talented group of people this week. Another thing on the research abstracts, I think everybody in the class did just an excellent job. I gave you the prompts and you succinctly answered the questions. One thing in this course you will find, it really is a reading, analyzing, and writing course, more so than a hard research statistics class. So think about that. You read it, you analyze it, and then you write about it. And if I'm asking, especially with the research abstracts, these are the prompts, these are the questions, and I'd like you to answer them. Everybody did that. They succinctly followed the format, and you gave me just the facts. For those that have been in HRD 631 with me, which is the adult learner, I think there's more opportunity in a class like that to kind of become flowy, become more narrative with your discussions. In this class, it really is the nuts and bolts. Just give me the nuts and the bolts, and then there's a time that we can actually discuss, and you can write about the results. So that is it. I'm going to switch to week number 2. Okay. Talking about week number 2 and talking about the nuts and bolts. Let's just go through and I'll get to what we're going to be doing this week. So one of the things that we are discussing this week and will be discussing for the next few weeks is qualitative research. There's 2 basic types of, actually there's a lot of different types of research, but at this stage of the course, let's just say there's 2 basic types. We have qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is a fully academic, fully supported type of research that you are using things like words, you're using terminology, you're analyze things differently than quantitative, which quantitative really is the numbers. What are the numbers telling us? In qualitative research, a lot of times it's the words, the patterns. What are you studying? And we'll get into this as we go. So we are starting on the qualitative side and then moving to the quantitative side, and then we get to mixed message and single subject type research, which we don't need to cloud things up at this point. So what are we doing? Well, the first thing you're going to do is take a look at the overview video. During this week, you will read Chapter 3 and take a look at the videos. Digital resources, really, they're pretty much all here. There are 3 videos. We have the first one. These are by our textbook author, one of our textbook authors, Jeff Beaudry. Jeff is a good friend of mine, a great colleague, and the co-author of this book. And Jeff has put together a bunch of excellent videos on the course and also on the subject matter that we're discussing this week. So I'd like you to take a look at each one of these. Really, research literacy, a course view of how we're going to approach the course, and then a little more on qualitative research, specifically sampling. I'd like you to take a look at some of the online resources that we have. These are available databases that we have in the course, and I'm going to talk about these further. There's also some excellent videos in here. Now, there is one thing while we're on this subject. If you want, you can come into Library Resources. You can click on that, and I'll do that just now. Library Resources. Click on that again, and you're going to have the world of resources at your disposal. So you don't need to sign into the library. If you come into this through our course, you're going to be able to see all this information. One thing I did want to point out is this academic databases. This is where you will be searching for your primary research articles for pretty much the culminating assignment in this course. So we will have more on this, but I encourage you to take a look at some of these. We have, some of you maybe have used the educational full text, the ERIC. Each one of these is, as it says, a large scholarly multidisciplinary full text database. So each one of these contains thousands upon thousands of academic research and a lot of primary research. So there's a difference between an article and primary research. We'll get into that in a while. So let me go back. I'm going to go back to our week number 2. Come back over here. Week number 2. Okay. So you're going to look at the videos. You will explore some of these search engines. Now, I'd like everybody in the class to read this article, and here it is. It's attached right in there. It's called, I Look at My Own Forest and Fields in a Different Way. Once you read that, I'll show you where you can answer the questions. But, I included a checklist in here for evaluating the process of a study like this. You'll see in the discussion forum there are prompts that I'd like you to follow, and I'll also talk about that in 1 second. Now, I also want you to start thinking about a research topic. These 2, 5 and 6, really are tied in together. 6 refers to the actual assignment that we have. This is an assignment, but it is not due until September 26th. So it just will give you an idea of what I'm looking for. So the first thing is to identify a topic, and then this assignment, there's two parts of this, part 1 and part 2. Article Capture 1 is not due until September 26th, and at that point, I will ask you to do a summary and submit 3 research articles on your topic. Once again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this at this point. The most important thing is you start thinking about some kind of research topic that you might want to explore. So in this case, I say due, meaning it is an assignment. It is due on September 26th. It's a long way off. You don't need to do anything about that. Finally, there will be an optional, and I stress optional, Zoom meeting on Wednesday, September 8th at 7:15. I will answer any questions at that point. I'll clarify a few things, and I'll quickly go through a couple of things like the syllabus and a brief overview of the assignments. This should not go more than a half hour. I'll send out the invite to the Zoom meeting I'll send it out by September 8th, and it could even be the morning of September 8th. So that is it from a to-do standpoint. And now, taking a look at the discussion, the first thing you do is you read it. It's located here. There's a checklist. And then really what I want you to do is take a look at these. Tell me what the purpose and the design of the qualitative article was. Tell me something about the sampling, the data collection methods, analysis. Now, all of this ties back to Chapter 3. So there's a lot of information in Chapter 3, and if you read Chapter 3 thoroughly, you'll be able to answer these questions quite easily. Now, I don't want to say it has to be perfect. We're beginning in the course. I'll talk about this a little bit on Wednesday. We'll take a look at the article. If you don't know something, you don't understand something, you're not sure of any kind of analysis that the authors did, please just say it. Say it in the discussion post. I really had a time trying to understand what the authors were saying about the results. You are not expected to know everything. I am not grading your discussion posts. I'm just making sure that people are discussing things. So that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope everybody has a really nice Labor Day. Hopefully you have a long weekend from schoolwork, your job, whatever it might be. And we'll see everybody online, and if you can make the Zoom meeting on Wednesday, that would be great. We'll see you then.